Morning class, this is March 30th, Monday morning. This is your lesson, U.S. history, March 30th. So we're going to do a little review. We're going about Thomas Jefferson and the Barbary Pirates. Make sure you're paying attention, taking notes, do what you need to do. As soon as we're done with this lesson, you'll go over, take the U.S. history quiz for March 30th. All of the questions on the quiz will be from this lesson that we're learning today, so make sure you're paying attention. Thomas Jefferson, Barbary Pirates. We're going to learn about the first Barbary War today. So a little known event in United States history, but very important. And this first Barbary War, and Thomas Jefferson and the Barbary Coast Pirates. Number one, introduction. The characters involved. So we're going to have three main characters involved in this conflict. We have Thomas Jefferson, Yusuf Caramanli, and Commodore Barron. So Thomas Jefferson, Yusuf Caramanli, Commodore Barron, three of the main characters involved in the first Barbary War. So I got a couple pictures. Thomas Jefferson here, picture of him, Yusuf Caramanli, and Commodore Barron. Three main characters involved in this event and in this conflict that we're learning about today. Current events. This is what's going on at the world stage, at this time of this event that we're learning about. So Napoleon is marching his troops into Austria. This happened in 1800. The White House just finished being built, also 1800, and the Louisiana Purchase in 1803. So this is a little bit what's going on in the world at the time and in America, different, so we get a good sense of where we are in the timeline. So we have Napoleon Bonaparte here, picture of him and his troops here behind him. And he marched into Austria, 1800. This is the Austrian troops here, and so just a couple pictures of that. The White House was just finished being built, so this is what the White House looked like when they built it. And here is a picture or depiction of a couple people with some blueprints, some scaffolding, finishing the building of the White House. Louisiana Purchase, 1803, all this area here in red. This land was purchased by the United States from France, Napoleon in France, and at the time, all this area was purchased, and a little after they purchased Louisiana Purchase, the explorers of Lewis and Clark went out to explore the area, the land that they had just bought. Events leading up to the war. Roman numeral II, events leading up to the war. I have a couple pictures of fighting, naval battles. Okay, letter A. The Barbary States, Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, and Morocco were pirating and kidnapping European ships. So the Barbary Coast States were the four countries of Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, and Morocco. And these four countries, the governments were sponsoring these different pirates to go out to pirate European vessels all within the Mediterranean Sea. And so they would go out, they'd capture the vessels, steal the ships, kidnap the sailors on board. They would enslave the sailors back in North Africa. They would take any type of goods or anything that they were shipping, they would steal that. And they're just pirating and basically wreaking havoc in the Mediterranean Sea with the European ships as well as the American ships. During the Revolutionary War, American ships were protected from the pirates by France's fleet due to the Treaty of Alliance. So America had a treaty with France called the Treaty of Alliance, and part of this treaty during the Revolutionary War, France fleet, their ships would protect the American vessels from the pirates over in the Mediterranean Sea. At the time, the U.S. Navy had not been started yet, and so we did not have enough ships to fight the Revolutionary War over here in America, as well as to protect our interests overseas over in the Mediterranean Sea. So we had a alliance, we had a treaty with France called the Treaty of Alliance, and that protected our ships from these pirates. France, they would protect our vessels during this time. After the Revolutionary War, the United States wanted out of the treaty with France because of what was going on with the French Revolution. So at the time, there was a lot of political unrest in France and in Europe as a whole. And so because of what was going on with the French Revolution, the United States wanted out of the treaty with France, out of the Treaty of Alliance because of what was going on. So Barbary States, Algiers, Tunis, Tripoli, Morocco, these 4 countries in North Africa were pirating, kidnapping European ships, kidnapping American ships. They'd kidnap the sailors. They would either burn or steal the vessels. They would take everything on board, steal all the goods and anything that the merchants were shipping or trading. They'd take all of that in the Mediterranean Sea there. During the Revolutionary War, the American ships were protected from the pirates by France and their fleet due to the Treaty of Alliance. But after the Revolutionary War was over, the United States went out of the Treaty of Alliance somewhat because of what was going on with the French Revolution and the political unrest there. All right, so this is a map. These are the 4 Barbary Coast states or countries. So we have Morocco, Algiers, Tunis, and Tripoli. As you can see here, this map is this area here, southern part of Europe and northern part of Africa. So this is all North Africa here. This is the Mediterranean Sea. This is Spain. You got Italy here, Greece, and Strait of Gibraltar. So all this is the Mediterranean Sea, and this is what's known as the Barbary Coast. So it's the whole northern part of Africa that borders the Mediterranean Sea. And the 4 countries, Morocco, Algiers, Tunis, and Tripoli, they made up the Barbary Coast, the Barbary Coast states, as they were called. Here's another map with the same thing. Tripoli here, this will come up later in our lesson, but that's where Tripoli sits. All right, number next. So here's a picture of the Treaty of Alliance. So this was the treaty that America had with France that protected our vessels. France's fleet, their ships would protect our vessels in the Mediterranean Sea. French Revolution lasted from 1789 till 1799. And because of that, what was going on, the United States wanted out of this treaty, Treaty of Alliance with France because of the political unrest and the different things going on in the French Revolution in this decade here. Okay, letter B. On October 11th, 1784, Moroccan pirates seized the Brigantine Betsy. So this is an American vessel. Here's a picture of it here. On October 11th, 1784, Moroccan pirates seized the Brigantine Betsy. Spain helped Thomas Jefferson, who at the time was just the U.S. Minister to France. He was not the president yet. He was U.S. Minister to France. But Spain helped Thomas Jefferson negotiate the release of the ship and the sailors. So this is a picture of the flag of Spain at the time, and this is the American flag at the time. But Spain helped Thomas Jefferson negotiate with Morocco the release of the ship and the sailors. So Spain suggested paying tributes to Morocco to prevent the piracy. So Spain and the other European countries would pay these tributes. They would pay this money or this ransom money to the different Barbary Coast states, to the pirates, so that they'd prevent piracy from happening. So they'd pay the money ahead of time so that the pirates wouldn't pirate their vessels. So Spain suggested doing that as well, suggested to America, Thomas Jefferson and the Americans, to pay the Moroccan pirates this tribute money, this ransom money, so that they would not attack their vessels. Morocco was the first Barbary Coast state to sign a treaty with the U.S. on June 23rd, 1786. So Brigantine Betsy, American vessel, was captured by the Moroccan pirates. Spain helped out Thomas Jefferson, who was not the president yet, but he helped Thomas Jefferson negotiate the release of the ship and the sailors. Spain suggested doing what Spain and the rest of the European countries did, which was pay these tributes, pay this money to the pirates ahead of time to prevent them from pirating and stealing, kidnapping their sailors, etc. And then on June 23rd, 1786, Morocco became the first Barbary Coast state to sign a treaty with the U.S. On June 23rd, 1786. Okay, that's your lesson for today. Go over and take your quiz, March 30th, U.S. History. Make sure you take your quiz. All the questions on the quiz will come from these notes we just took, and then we'll pick up later on this week with the rest of this lesson.